Hello, all bettors and bettees. Welcome back to another exciting edition of the Fades and Parlays podcast. I am your host, Mr. Wright, joined by my co-host, Mr. Sanders. Mr. Sanders, say hello to the people.
Hello to the people, Mr. Sanders.
What's happening? What's happening? Well, we have another beautiful docket on deck for y'all today. And just so you know, last weekend, if you weren't paying attention, which shame on you, we went 3-1-1, and if you took our advice on that Rams game, we went 4-1-1, which puts us on the year at 35-18-2, hitting that 66%, which, could be better, but it could be worse. Through the last 5 weeks, we're hitting that 19-6-1, which is 76%. And 76% over the last 5 weeks. So if you have been betting with us, that means that over the last 5 weeks, you're hitting at 76% of your money.
Word.
So if you haven't bet with us, then again, shame on you. You have a chance today to ratify that and make that right if you're watching and listening and paying attention. Right? So we're going to get right into it, into our games. The first game we have on the docket today is the Vikings at Jacksonville. No Trevor Lawrence. How do you feel about this one?
It's hella funny. Normally, I always wait for certain situations. I know that he was hurt last week. This is why last week what did I say? Preseason and shit. Right before kickoff. What was I saying? It was like Philly, Baltimore, Miami, especially Philly and Miami. These fucking people, let me go for 2 at dumb fuck times. Let me not take my points when I get them. And last week, I'm like, man, that 5 points is kind of bothering me a little bit, man. I wish we could have gotten it 4, this, that, the other. Motherfucker, you're going for 3 2 times. You're not taking field goals inside the 30. And then when their kicker tried to kick that 50-plus yarder, look, a very good kicker. They do have a very good kicker. But the moment he missed it, I'm like, God damn it.
Yeah.
God damn it. But knowing that they were talking about him, so we had to push it. But this is why I was on the 5. But This is why when I saw it earlier in the week in this game, Minnesota was favored by 3. And I was like, what the oh, shit, we're taking that period. Yeah. I know I was reading earlier, Lawrence was limping around. And I'm like, I'm going to grab this right now. I grabbed it Tuesday, I think it was, which I normally don't grab shit that early. Right. But it was just too easy to give up. Now he's out. Now it's a touchdown. So thank the football gods. So we ended up getting a Vikings money line. Personally, I think if you can get Vikings -4, I wouldn't be too scared to take it at the touchdown if I could find it. But us personally, we got Vikings money line because of when it was low prior to Trevor Lawrence. But if you can find it at 4, don't be scared.
Okay. All right. So Vikings money line, but if you can find it at Vikings -4, don't be scared.
Yeah.
Like we feel like this game is the Vikings should handle the business in this game.
They should. That's the one thing, too, when I was kind of going through it, because, obviously, we do our thing outside of the podcast when it comes to this. I know I do.
Absolutely.
But personally, I think I'm I believe I'm 44-19-2. So I'm a few games better because I just look at it differently. I try to protect the people that do watch this so we don't kind of run into it. But part of me at the same time is like, damn, because I'm hitting at, 71%, but the podcast is hitting what it's hitting at, and it's precaution. That's why it's like the Rams game. If you ended up taking it, sweet. I'm glad that it helped because, like I said, they always battle them in Seattle. It's the craziest thing.
Right. Well, that's beautiful and good information there. So moving on to the next game, Atlanta at a very, very struggling New Orleans team. Good Lord. Good Lord. Talk to me.
I'm not they weren't going to keep putting up those points.
Right.
They really did us dirty. Well, they did us dirty in that Philly game. When we took them, Philly's defense stepped up a little better, but the Saints, who we thought they were, Allen needed to go. It kind of just is what it is. But Atlanta's balling out,
Yeah.
and Cousins is getting better game by game.
Yep.
So this is, I believe they're 4-0 in their division as far as Atlanta is concerned.
Yeah, I think they are.
If they can get this game, it's all but solidified, minus or barring a complete knockdown. I'm surprised they didn't pick up a pass rusher. That's Atlanta's only problem. Their only issue. I don't want to hear this Judon shit because it still ain't doing shit. But it's their only issue that they have.
Yes.
To where it's going to cause them later down the line. But that's why a couple weeks ago, I personally took Atlanta when it came to the Seahawks, because I knew the Seahawks line was so garbage to where even the half-ass pass rush Atlanta's got, they'd beat them. But they can't. Yeah. You're going to need it, man. So, we're going to stick with the Atlanta money line because New Orleans is, if they beat them, I hate this rivalry. I used to hate betting this game when it was Breeze and Ryan. Every time it seemed I would take this damn game, it would always seem to be a Sunday night game. And God damn it, I'm always throwing shit because whoever I fucking took would lose by a fucking field goal in the end. And it drove me nuts. I fucking hated this matchup every time. I think Drew Brees is the most underrated quarterback in the history of the NFL. I've always believed that. And he is in my top 5 all-time, period. No one could talk me out of it, but they better show up. I need Atlanta to just keep doing what they're doing, handle their business, and let's handle this game for the love of God's football.
Yes.
Atlanta money line, Dirty Bird time. Let's go. Oh yeah, that's right. See, I'm even wearing it today. See, let's go.
Look at that. They could use that guy, right?
Word.
Anybody could, for that matter.
Word.
Goodness gracious. Next game we got going on, the Buffalo Bills, who, wow, at the Colts, right, with your favorite, Mr. Flacco.
Fuck him.
I have a pretty good feeling what we're doing here, but go ahead and speak on it.
Fucking Joe Flacco. We're gonna take Bills money line. Let's go, Bills Mafia.
Bills Mafia.
I that Indy Vikings game scared the hell out of me.
Yeah.
Look, Flacco is the better quarterback for what they're doing. There's no question about it. It's going to be very interesting. The game in the trenches there is where that game is going to be won. I know that Buffalo has a hard time stopping these big runners, but Indy's got a very good line, and Taylor ain't no joke. So I think as long as they can contain some of this passing game and keep at least Taylor at bay, I don't think that Buffalo should have, anyways, much of a problem. I still haven't seen anything on Cooper as far as he's playing or not, but the Bills have just been really good on everything. Allen has just quietly been doing his damn thing.
Yes.
I don't think the Bills are going to win it all. I think they're too small on defense, linebacker, secondary wise, but they're still balling out. And they should have no problem going into Indianapolis and just winning the game. This is why we're taking it money line, because they're only a field goal favorite.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, Allen seems to have figured out some of his red zone woes. He's not having the turnovers that he's been having.
Not being an idiot.
Yeah. He's playing within himself. Yeah.
Big time.
Absolutely. I like that. I like that. Go Bills. Get our money.
Word.
Get our money.
Word.
So this game personally scares me a little bit. I was surprised that we were messing with it. But Mr. Sanders, you are the guru. You know what you're doing. So let's go. The Sunday night football game this week is the very hot Detroit Lions. My goodness. I got to give it to you. Your dark horse MVP at the start of the season was one Jared Goff.
It was.
Holy shit, were you on with that one? We got Detroit going into Houston, who I still feel like is still coming around. Haven't really played their best football yet. But we're messing with this game, and how do you see it?
Houston has been having some O-line problems, which is I'm a little surprised by that.
Yeah.
I really, really am.
Mhm.
Especially at least pass protection wise, because Mixon is just doing his damn thing.
He looks like he is like rejuvenated.
Right?
It's
Like
like
he playing at Oklahoma? It was Oklahoma
exactly
he was playing at, right?
right, right.
Yeah. Yeah, he's really, really, really running well. It's really, really helping them.
Yes,
But yeah, Goff is just fucking on one.
on one.
I haven't seen anything on Nico Collins. They say he's supposed to be back this week, but you've been out 5 fucking weeks, so I don't expect him to be trash by any means.
No,
But it's still
a
kind of
little
getting
rust.
back after a month and change. You know what I'm
Right,
saying?
right.
Which I don't think should be too much of an issue. The lucky thing for Houston is there isn't a huge pass rush, and there never really is with Detroit, even though they picked up Zadarius Smith from Cleveland.
Right.
Another team that I'm surprised, you need pressure up front. No Hutchinson. We were talking about this morning.
Yeah.
They got to do something because their run game is just a monster, but you got to do something defensively. I don't know. We're going to see, but I think they'll be able to do enough. Again, indoors for them, which I had no problem against them. Green Bay, we were also talking about that. Their run game is no fucking joke. Love their
And run
run game. Love
and
their
run games
offensive line.
run games travel.
Yeah, it's period.
Yeah.
And but yeah, I think Detroit should be able to go into Houston. I think if they can, put up 23, 27 points, it should be enough for them to do their thing. I like Houston, and I think in the end it's going to break even as far as their offensive line pass rush woes. Excuse me. And then the defensive line pass rush that Detroit has, it
Uh-huh.
it kind of maybe cancel itself out because they're both not very all that great.
Okay.
So if I have to go, you got 2 runners and probably the best line of football with the Lions,
Right.
and then you got Mixon. So it's like, this should be a good game. We haven't taken Detroit many times, but I think we're gonna, yeah, we're gonna go Detroit money line. I expect them to beat them. If it's an ass whooping, I'd be pretty shocked by that.
Right.
But the Detroit should be able to walk out with a win. So yeah, we're gonna take Detroit money line. As you can see, I have a little hesitation, but
Yeah. It's a tough matchup.
Detroit money line. They've just been playing so well, and run games travel, like you said. They just
100%.
do.
They do.
Yeah, so I'm sticking with it. I'm rock solid on it. But
Okay.
we're
Yeah.
gonna roll
Yeah.
Lions money line.
Okay. Detroit money line. Then let's go. Let's go Lions. Let's
Word.
go. 2 of the games that we'll briefly touch on are.
Yeah.
You want to speak on Eagles at Cowboys?
Yeah.
We got no Dak. We got no Dak Prescott.
No Prescott.
We have a reeling Cowboy team who's just been. I mean,
Hot
good Lord.
fire garbage.
I mean, yeah, dumpster fire.
Mr. Grassy
their
Fields.
defense.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, their defense. I mean,
Their
I feel like at
offense,
my
their
age right
everything.
now, I could run for 100 on them right now.
Word.
Just saying.
Yeah, they're just everywhere. Mr. Grassy Fields sent me this GIF of a text message of this dude like jumping, throwing garbage away in a can. It's like the first time I've actually had a crying tear chuckle in quite some time, just because of the trash that's been taking place.
Yes.
And that's basically what that is that.
Right.
That man had me laughing. It's been like 2 months since I've laughed like that. So that's basically what the Cowboys have been. From my understanding, from what I'm reading, look, Dak might be done for the year. But look,
Yeah.
Cooper Rush is not some bum.
No.
What was it, 2 years ago? He won me, I think it was in November, a game in the Vikings. I ended up taking the Cowboys as dogs to walk in there and beat them. So he knows what he's doing. But here's the difference between then and now. They have no run game.
Right.
The Cowboys cannot run the fucking football. They refuse to run the ball. They're not doing anything. So I think that makes a huge difference for them. When I got the before Dak was hurt, if memory serves me correctly, the line I can't remember. It was 5.5 or 6.5. I'm trying to think back, but I can't remember. I was able to get the game at a field goal. Now that Dak is out, it's at 7.5.
You got you got a field goal for who?
Oh, we ended up getting Philly at a field goal.
At Philly
So
at minus,
when we
at
took
minus
it,
3?
but this was before Dak was out. So
Okay.
it was Philly -3. But then
Okay.
Dak basically ripped the muscle off. So I everything I've always known over the years, that ain't happening. So I don't, what you do now, I mean, the line jumped up at least an extra 1.5, 2 points. So I'm not too sure what to do on that. Kind of bet at your own risk. Obviously, it's different. Even with Cooper Rush in there, I still have concern for us because I know it not as much because there's no run game.
Yeah.
So kind of go at your own risk. If I knew I could get the game at 6 or 5, I don't think I would personally take it. But
At minus
I'm watching.
6?
Yeah, I'm definitely. I'll be watching with interest, but I do that for every game. But
Right.
it just kind of more so score wise and paying attention to what the Cowboys do because we'll need it in the future. More of a homework type of situation.
Right.
So see what happens. But an intriguing game nonetheless.
Absolutely. So you're saying that we messed around and got Eagles at minus 3.
Yeah, and this was Eagles at -3. We got that before Dak was shut down.
Okay. I think that's a great pick. I don't see
now. Yeah,
I don't see Dallas doing much against these Eagles. And the Eagles
Any given
seem to be
Sunday.
somewhat, I mean, give the ball to Saquon. And
see what's happening. This fool is
And that-
doing juke moves, triple windmill, Cobra Kai, backward
Jumping
jump land.
over people backwards. Like what? Wow. That
It's
was
amazing
that
when
was
they give
insane.
him the ball. The difference, ain't it?
100%. I mean, what'd they get him for? Run the rock. Another
Word.
game that's very intriguing.
Yeah.
Two intriguing teams. I mean, Pittsburgh at Washington, right?
Yeah.
Washington with this rookie quarterback. Good Lord, right? And another. Why no one talks about McLaurin? I don't understand.
I've been talking about him since he came in his rookie year.
You said Drew Brees, most underrated quarterback probably of all time. McLaurin. I mean, why is he not ever mentioned with the best receivers? He's just quietly going about his business his whole
every
career, every
Word.
year with a multitude of quarterbacks.
Yeah.
Pittsburgh looking pretty darn good since Russell's starting to cook a little bit, doing some things.
He's
Right, we
handling
got
his business.
Right, we got Pittsburgh at Washington. You want to speak on that a little bit?
Yeah, they're not going to have Lattimore that I saw. It looks like
Okay.
they're going to be without the running back Robinson as well. So that's putting a little bit more on Eckler, which let's just be honest, he's not that. You might get a little from him, but
Good,
this
good in the
game.
backfield. Eckler's good on
Oh
screens.
yeah,
and-
no, but I'm talking about a pure hard between the
Running.
tackles runner. He's not a
Yeah.
20 carry back type of situation. You know what I
No.
mean? He's a different type of back. I'm not taking away
Right.
from him. He's just a different type of back.
Absolutely.
So I do think that makes a little different for Pittsburgh because they're so hard nosed.
Right.
I think Watt, but this Daniels is different. Which, by the way, I seem to remember a guy talking about that guy.
Toot.
I'm on. Look, how do I put this? I'm watching Washington. Am I a complete believer? Well, no, but
It's
I
early.
see you.
It's
Yeah,
early.
and I see
It's
you,
early.
and you're doing your damn thing. I'm not
Mhm.
taking away from you. But we might flirt with this game. We really might. I'm not too sure what I'm doing yet. That line, I've seen it move from Washington favored by 2.5. Then I saw it was Washington -3.5, which means people are obviously putting more money on Washington.
Okay.
So I'm kind of peeking and prodding, and we're gonna see what we do on that game.
Okay.
If the line moves one more point, if for some reason Washington becomes like a 4.5 point favorite, I just might have us take Pittsburgh at +6. I might
Yeah.
flirt with that. But,
Okay.
kind of keep an eye. I think that's a very, very interesting matchup.
It is.
More so for Pittsburgh because they have yet to play a division game. Like, yet. And we're now in week 10. I think like 6 of like their last 9 games or 8 games, they're all division games with Kansas
Brutal.
City on Christmas.
Brutal.
Brutal. So
Brutal.
it is really, really important that they, at least they're keeping their record really, really good, and it will
Yeah.
come down to their obviously the division thing because Baltimore's doing their thing, and I
Right.
still think you're trash as fuck, but I see you, Lamar, and broken watch is right at least once a day,
At least once.
but yeah, so an intriguing game. Keep your eyes on our channel. Because I might just, when a pimp gets an attitude, drop it like it's hot for that pick. So, just in case, check a little bit later. Might be later tonight. Might be right before kickoff. You don't know. I'm definitely keeping my eye on it. I'm gonna like this matchup.
Okay. All right. Well, I mean that means that there may be a short coming out later. So
And for the Monday night as well, the Rams, they went from point dog to now they're a 2-point favorite. So keep an eye on that game too. I might throw something out Monday night as well. I'm kind of
sniffing around.
smelling some Ram shit is what I'm smelling.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
it's funky. And it's funky.
Yeah, it just I don't
Yeah.
know. Maybe.
Okay. All right. Well, we have given the people a lot to digest, a lot to think
And a
about,
lot
and
today.
some things to be on the lookout for. So you're gonna have to
Yeah.
stay tuned. You're gonna have to click and subscribe.
Word.
And you're gonna have to go to our Instagram page, which is what?
Fades and parlays _podcast.
Boom. So please leave your comments. We are interested in what you have to say. We want to
Right.
know how much money we are winning you. All right. And if you have any input, we want to hear your 2 cents.
Yeah,
Whether we agree or not, we still want to hear it. Right?
I agree.
So just a little recap of what we got going on for this current weekend. We are taking Vikings money line over Jacksonville. We are taking Atlanta money line over New Orleans. We are taking Bills money line over the Colts. We're taking Detroit money line over Houston.
Sunday
And
night.
we are
Yeah.
keeping our nose to the street when it comes to Eagles at Cowboys.
Yeah.
And when it comes to Pitt at Washington and the
Monday
Monday
night.
night game with the
Yeah.
Rams.
Yeah,
All right,
poking 'em.
so stay tuned. Be looking for a short possibly coming out. Mr. Sanders is going to be handling a short. And, hey, let's go. Let's keep this train going. Like I say again, last 5 weeks, we're hitting at 76%. Okay, so get your money. Get your money.
Word.
And that will conclude this week of the Fades and Parlays podcast. Thank you, Mr. Sanders. Good shit. We'll see you next time.
Word.